Again, Jim Miller one last time. Don't want to bug you. Probably tired from a trip and all. Anyway, I got to get a hold of the phone company. I think I got through at least this first time. I can make calls out, but none receiving. If you're interested in that garden stuff, maybe Friday afternoon or later, get the stuff by 4 or 5 and take me to the garden Saturday. I'll do it myself. I got 20 some water jugs, hose, 5 buckets. I'd go Earl May, probably get a few seeds, maybe some plants if they got them cheap. Else Cox's greenhouse, which is only 3 or 4 blocks from the garden, and dump me off unless you want to help a little. Maybe cooler. It'd be late evening to get in late afternoon and planned early morning, like at 7 or 8 o'clock. Thanks, and you have a super day. Hi, Jeff. Hate to bother you. You must have just got back. I called the regular number about pray for work for me and stuff. Got your wife, Mikey. I hope you all had a good time. Your girl, something about going to Europe. That sounds like fun. Be careful a little and have a blast, I'd say. Buy postcards or take pictures if I went overseas ever. Even Canada or Mexico, even out of state, there's neat stuff like Texas and stuff. Anyway, I hope and pray I get that work. I still don't know. I ain't gonna call them. We'll call you. Get a job somewhere. If you have time, maybe Friday evening or Saturday morning early. That would be better. Run me to that garden. I'm gonna go to Earl May, save a few bucks, get a few seeds locally. I can't afford that stuff through the mail. I don't have that kind of money. A few seeds locally, a few plants at Cox's, and take me to the garden. If you want to help a little, that'd be fine. Or drop me off. If they get that, I may get a few laughs at the lumberyards, Pond Rose, East Ivy. If you had time for that, that's only $2 or $3 for 10 of them. They don't cost nothing for steaks. Thanks, and have a good day. You got my number if you ever want to talk. Thanks, and take care. Hi, Jeff. Well, Jim Miller calling. Got all my water jugs filled. Had 8, got 26 total. Ready to do garden if you come back and you're interested. I want to rush. It's too hot today. I got to get a few plants from Cox's, get the seeds in for. I got to pay the guy. He tilled it on credit, $50, 50, and 20 some. A couple laughs from Lumberyard, Spawn Rose. I'm only 30 cents a piece or 20. It'll cost about 10 of them. Round up and some string, mason line. String off and get some in. And call me when you get back if you're interested. It's too hot. You have to do it in the evening. And that'd be watered a bunch. The heat's supposed to break by Wednesday. Mailman told me. Thanks, and have a good day. Hope that funeral went okay. Maybe someone spoke about there's a freak accident or driving too fast, whatever happened. Thanks. Have a good day. Hi, Jeff. Jim Miller calling. You may be out of state, as I remember you was going to southern Indiana. Stay cool. The weather here anyway is warm. Thursday and Friday is mid-upper 90s. Yesterday better. Today not so bad. It's up there a little ways. So it starts summer. I'll pray for you. Pray for me. I missed that thing in Maytag Park. I wanted to go Worcester. I wanted to go to Knoxville last night. But maybe get a vehicle someday. At least go once during the season. To a sprint car race. That's fun. This town. What do you do on the weekends? Saturday, Friday night, Saturday night, work. Used to. I'll beat the pray in my garden too. I got to get them seeds in for. Hopefully, get the tilling paid for. It's done. They ain't paid the guys. I got to get busy. BK, supposed to call me tomorrow. We'll put things off. I ain't calling them no more. The management is good, or what the problem is. And your girl's going overseas. I think he said that'd be fun. Be a little careful. Don't do nothing bad and have fun. Thanks. Have a good day. Hi, Jeff. This is Jim Miller calling. I hope you're having a good 4th. It is a holiday. I missed the parade, but I had Knoxville radio on a little bit later. Got everything done. Ain't done my laundry. I'm trying to. I checked about that 4th Street, scraping up some money. About that wait till tomorrow. And about $5 and get quarters. I can get them up the hill. I got 3 loads, and it's a quiet day, and it's cool. It'll be a good day to do something like that. Maybe we'll head back to that garden someday if you have time this week. That's 2 or 3 days. I'd like to meet that new man. It sounds interesting. I've seen his picture in the paper, read about him. That's all I know about him. So, you guys all have fun. Bye-bye. old buddy and friend, Jim Miller calling. Hope you're having fun wherever you're at, you and your family. And I'd like to meet Mr. Cook maybe next Sunday if you're back. I could meet him and his wife. Heard all good about him. Remember his picture, kind of a wiry, skinny guy, about 50 or so. Wasn't young, 40-something anyway. Picture in the paper, that's all I ever knew. I went to that Baptist church until maybe once in a while, like Wednesday night. You guys don't have nothing. If you did, I'd be there. At least occasionally when summer's over. Anyway, vacation Bible schools will be going good. Got my federal inspection. I hadn't filled all of the sheet out. I was between going to work and looking for work and covering from my scrape finger and rest there one day in the heat. But Julie was here from Guy and the Civil Inspector. Super nice lady. Just checks things, outlets work, sink, not plugged, a little slow moving, stuff like that. Wrote me up on a couple things. No big deal. Usually an army inspection by far. See you guys maybe hold that garden sometime. Maybe I'll make it out on my own and do around the hills. If you want next week or Saturday or something, maybe you can help on that if you want. Get you something. It's only, it's Friday. He said Friday and Saturday, I guess. I'll get paid today. Thanks, and have a super good day, all you guys. Tell everybody hi. Hi, Jeff. Jim Miller one last time. Don't want to bug you. You're probably tired from a trip and all. Anyway, I got to get a hold of the phone company. I think I got through and waiting this and push that. I can make calls out, but none receiving. If you're interested in that garden stuff, maybe Friday afternoon or later, get the stuff by 4 or 5 and take me to the garden Saturday. I'll do it myself. I got 20-some water jugs, hose, flat bucket. I'd go Earl May, probably get a few seeds, maybe some plants if they got them cheap. Else Cox's greenhouse, which is only 3 or 4 blocks from the garden, and dump me off unless you want to help a little. Maybe cooler. It'd be late evening to get in, late afternoon, and planned early morning, like at 7 or 8 o'clock. Thanks, and you have a super day. Hi, Jeff. Hate to bother you. You must have just got back. I called the regular number about pray for work for me and stuff. Got your wife, Mikey. I hope you all had a good time. Your girl, something about going to Europe. That sounds like fun. Be careful a little and have a blast, I'd say. Buy postcards or take pictures if I went overseas ever. Even Canada or Mexico, even out of state, there's neat stuff like Texas and stuff. Anyway, I hope and pray I get that work. I still don't know. I ain't gonna call them. We'll call you. Get a job somewhere. If you have time, maybe Friday evening or Saturday morning early. That would be better. Run me to that garden. I'm gonna go to Earl May, save a few bucks, get a few seeds locally. I can't afford that stuff through the mail. I don't have that kind of money. A few seeds locally, a few plants at Cox's, and take me to the garden. If you want to help a little, that'd be fine. Or drop me off. If they get that, I may get a few laughs at the lumberyards, Pond Rose, East Ivy. If you had time for that, that's only $2 or $3 for 10 of them. They don't cost nothing for steaks. Thanks, and have a good day. You got my number if you ever want to talk. Thanks, and take care. Hi, Jeff. Well, Jim Miller calling. Got all my water jugs filled. Had 8, got 26 total. Ready to do garden if you come back and you're interested. I want to rush. It's too hot today. I got to get a few plants from Cox's, get the seeds in for. I got to pay the guy. He tilled it on credit, $50, 50, and 20 some. A couple laughs from lumberyard, Spawn Rose. I'm only 30 cents a piece or 20. It'll cost about 10 of them. Round up and some string, mason line. String off and get some in. And call me when you get back if you're interested. It's too hot. You have to do it in the evening. And that'd be watered a bunch. The heat's supposed to break by Wednesday. Mailman told me. Thanks, and have a good day. Hope that funeral went okay. Maybe someone spoke about there's a freak accident or driving too fast, whatever happened. Thanks. Have a good day. Hi, Jeff. Jim Miller calling. You may be out of state, as I remember you was going to southern Indiana. Stay cool. The weather here anyway is warm. Thursday and Fridays, mid-upper 90s. Yesterday better. Today not so bad. It's up there a little ways. So it starts summer. I'll pray for you. Pray for me. I missed that thing at Maytag Park. I wanted to go Worcester Way. I wanted to go to Knoxville last night. But Maybe get a vehicle someday. At least go once during the season to a sprint car race. That's fun. This town, what do you do on the weekends? Saturday, Friday night, Saturday night, work. Used to. I'll be plant my garden too. I got to get them seeds sent for. Hopefully, get the tilling paid for. Them ain't paid the guys. I got to get busy. BK, supposed to call me tomorrow. Putting things off. I ain't calling them no more. The management is good, or what the problem is. And your girls going overseas. I think I said that'd be fun. Be a little careful. Don't do nothing bad and have fun. Thanks. Have a good day. Hi, Jeff. This is Jim on the call. I hope you're having a good 4th. It is a holiday. I missed the parade, but I had Knoxville radio on a little bit later. Got everything done. Ain't done my laundry. I'm trying to. I checked about that 4th Street, scraping up some money. About that wait till tomorrow, and about $5 and get quarters. I can get them up the hill. I got 3 loads, and it's a quiet day, and it's cool. It'll be a good day to do something like that. Maybe we'll head back to that garden someday if you have time this week. That's 2 or 3 days. I'd like to meet that new man. It sounds interesting. I've seen his picture in the paper, read about him. That's all I know about him. So, you guys all have fun. Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone. This is Jake here. You've probably never heard my voice before. And there is a kind of a reason for that. It's a little unfortunate that this is the case, but whatever. I generally, when I upload my sounds, you'll hear, various things, for, like, God, what am I thinking? Oh, okay, so you'll hear, like, when I upload, you hear the alert, but I generally don't talk during it, so you can hear the full alert, and then I stop the recording. I don't generally talk in my recordings. This is the first one I've ever talked in, I think. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the case. So, yeah, and before I do anything else, I've gotten, I think this is impressive, but how many downloads I've seen on some of my sounds is impressive, guys. I really appreciate it. I've seen, I think one of my recordings had, 20? Sorry if you're getting a little background noise here. I'm holding my recorder in my hand and talking, so. 20 downloads in one recording. That's amazing. I think that was the highest I've gotten. I think I actually have a follower. Oh, sorry about that email, but I think I have a follower, and that follower, unfortunately, I'm not sure, I might have more, I haven't checked, but I see you guys aren't really leaving comments, which is kind of sad, unfortunate, but if you guys leave comments, I'll be sure to respond. I'll have feedback, leave feedback, positive or negative feedback, I don't care, just don't, yeah, if you leave negative feedback, I understand, and I'll do my best to improve or whatever. But I would just appreciate feedback in any way, because, I'm supportive of, criticism. Whatever you want to say, I don't really care. I can suck it up, but, that doesn't mean you have to be rude about it. You can just say, if you don't like it, you can just say, hey, you can do this to make it better, and, whatnot. None of this is good. If you'd like me, just be sure to leave me feedback. I'd appreciate it. Okay, so now to get to the point of why I am recording right now. As you probably saw from the title, I got really bored today, okay? Like, I had nothing better to do than, because there's not really much to do around here, so I was just like, you know what? I have Deck Talk, which is a synthesizer. It's been used with NOAA weather radio. I would make a NOAA weather radio simulation, and so I did. This NOAA weather radio simulation is not 100% realistic. There are some unrealistic things about it. And I'm saying this before you go, no, this isn't realistic. No, there are some realistic things about it. For example, the Deck Talk. That's DECTALK is how you spell it. Deck Talk synthesizer was actually, and is still used with NOAA weather radio. So originally they had human voices on NOAA weather radio. And these human voices, as weather forecast offices started to expand how many transmitters they had and what they covered, humans, what they would do is they'd simply record tapes and throw them into the rounds to be replayed over and over again. And after this, they were when they got, eventually they just had so many stations they couldn't keep up with human voices. They ended up doing computer voices. Deck Talk was the first. It was 2 voices, Harry and Paul. They're still used for some random things, depending on what weather forecast office programs your transmitter. Each one is different. So, yeah, depending on which one is programming your transmitter, that is the one that, they all program their transmitters differently. Mine is pretty basic. Yours might not be so basic, depending on where you live. And if you even have a weather radio, that's the big thing. So, anyway, I created, because same tones, that's the buzzing you hear before and after, like, alerts, like my RWT that I'm going to be uploading alongside this file, alongside this recording. The RWT has those. When you'll listen at the very beginning, there's these... Oh, I'm sorry about that. Shut up. And I was talking to NVDA, so don't think I'm talking to you. You probably can't respond anyway, but whatever. So, of course, the NWR, those buzzes are called same tones. And you'll hear they have some, like, if you were going for a perfect buzz, they're not perfect. They're kind of, I can't do it. It's hard to do. Yeah, close enough. I'm kind of embarrassing myself now. So, anyway, those are called same tones, and your weather radio will pick those up, and whether or not they're actually being, like, you're listening, so even if they're not coming out through the weather radio speaker and you're not hearing them, the weather radio is still picking them up, so it's still detecting them. When it detects them, it will decode them. NVDA's means, done. So, anyway, it will pick those up, and it will, like mine, here, I'll give you an example, just a second. So, press this button, You probably recognize that if you listen to my recordings. You'll hear that, and you'll hear a very distinct beeping. It's at 1050 hertz. That tone is what is going to be played today. That used to trigger the old weather radios before SAME was invented. All alerts, like severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, especially tornado watches, severe thunderstorm watches, special marine warnings. Oh God, what else is there? Trust me, there's a lot of things. Ooh, I do apologize about that, folks. But I'm sorry if I made you yawn right now. I'm kind of tired, I'll admit. So, yeah, there are plenty of different things that same tones. RWTs, required weekly tests. This weather radio I've got right here is a Midland WR100, as I always say in the description. That has 3 distinct tones. I think 4, but one I never got to hear because I've never heard an advisory come through. I don't think there's any... My weather forecast office doesn't tone out any advisories. But, so, what I have is 3 tones that will go off for sure. One is the tone you just heard. I'll play it again. I don't. One is a watch tone. If you've ever heard any of my watches, my SVA or TOA. If you see those are watches. If you see watch as one of the tags, it's a watch. And so anyway, yeah. That is literally a lower pitched version of that. It's lower, it's slower. So is kind of my closest example. The RWT, the test beep, is, as you've heard, if you see RWT, and / or test in the tags, that is my required weekly test, of course. You'll hear the test beep, which you'll hear today when I upload that. Those are all triggered by same tones. The different same tones, radio will decode them, play the appropriate siren. Whether I'm listening or not, it will. If I'm not listening, the siren will play automatically, and then you'll hear this. You've probably heard this a couple times. There are some where I didn't have a chance to record the same tones. You'll hear the siren come on, and then once you hear the siren, after the siren, you'll hear the 1050 hertz. It'll literally cut to it. It won't play because when you are listening to the broadcast already, the siren will also play I guess it's considered a siren. It's alarm sound will play over the 1050 hertz. It'll play for a second and then 1050 hertz, or it'll play and then cut to the 1050 hertz after the siren stops. That siren plays for about 8 seconds. There are 3 modes. If you have it set to I'm going into depth about this. This is going to be a long recording, guys, just letting you know, just me rambling on. I really do apologize, but if you have it set to display only, the siren won't go off, or siren only, the siren will go off, and then you actually have to, it just goes off literally for 5 minutes until you set it. That's why I have it set to voice, so it will automatically cut to the voice if I sorry, I thought I heard someone. If I'm not listening, it'll play and then cut to the radio sound. If I am listening, it'll still play, which is actually quite nice. This is nice. So yeah. Okay, so now, anyway, continuing on. Today I made something. It's literally the sound of the NWR is as if it was using modern day formats. There are some unrealistic things about it. For example, the NWS announcement you'll hear. The times are not, of course, exact. Those are simulated to simulate the times that the RW, it mentions between 7 and 8. You'll be notified. So, I did a notification thing in there. Because one of my friends, his NWR transmitter actually does that, apparently. Probably not the exact same, but it does. So, yeah, anyway. So, I, of course, did that. I did a 1050 hertz beep because it allows me to do that. I included the hazardous weather outlook that's been issued, even though that wouldn't normally be included. That's not normal for NWR to include a hazardous weather outlook. I just thought I'd throw it in there. My voice is really low. I know, I'm just talking lower and lower and lower. Well, whatever. So, yep, as well, I also... The voices I used Paul and Harry. Those are the 2 voices that are actually used. Harry is used on my transmitter and weather forecast office. Harry does the time and the station ID, which is exactly what he does on here. Paul is sometimes used for doing station IDs and time and stuff. Sometimes it's Harry, sometimes it's Paul, and sometimes they're not used at all. Sometimes they're used for other things as well, too. Generally not the main voices, though. Not today. They used to be. I'm not sure if Same was around then or not, but I included it. I can't include Same. I just can't. So, whatever. I simulated as if it was like that today. Like, literally August 12th, 2015. That's today's date. So, anyway. I also included some static to make it a little more realistic, because if you hear NWR has some background static sounds. So, I included that. I am going to change the quality of my recording to make it sound more like NOAA weather radio, because of course it doesn't now. It sounds modern. That's all I can describe it as. So anyway, I'm not sure if it'll actually let me do this, but I'm going to try. If it doesn't, I'm going to be sad. It might not, actually. Like, it legit might not let me do this. If it doesn't, I'm going to be uploading it as 2 separate files. And the second one will be the one with the RWT in it and stuff. So, yeah, just hold your horses. I'm going to cut out here. I'm going to do some adjustments. And then, without further ado, and then, I'll be back once I make my adjustments. So, just hold on a second. Okay, guys, I'm back. So, I cannot change the quality, unfortunately. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, like I said, I can't change the quality. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, I cannot change the quality, so this will be uploaded as a separate recording from the mock RWT. So please, guys, leave comments on my sounds. I will, that static sound that I told you about, that is a random YouTube video. I will gladly link that in the description, just in case you want to hear 10 hours. I think it's 10 hours of static, but I'll link it anyway, just to credit whoever made it. So yeah, I can't, unfortunately, like I said, I can't change the quality in this recording, so it's just going to be a separate recording. And don't worry, not all of my recordings are going to have that quality, of course. So yeah, well, don't forget to follow me if you want to know when my future recordings are being uploaded. And leave comments on my sounds. I will be sure to get back to you, if possible. If you leave a comment on a sound way back, of course I'm not going to. Just my current sounds. Leave feedback. You can also private message me. I'll be happy to talk to you. Whatever. My Skype and stuff. All my information is in my profile description. My profile. So if you go ahead and look at that, you can see my email address, my Skype, my contact information. So, yeah. Thanks, guys, for listening to this. And I will be sure to upload my mock RWT along with it. So, yep. Without further ado, here we go.
Hello, this is Tracy Stevens. I'm on the Jack Kerouac road here trip. Right now we're on Amtrak going to Chicago, and then we'll switch trains. Today's date is January 8th. The time now is 2:34. Right now I'm sitting in my sleeper. The trains, the seats are up, but I'm still very comfortable. I have a icy hot patch on my neck. I slept comfortably. I felt like I was being rocked to sleep. It was so nice. I put the pillow under my head and looked at the stars, fell asleep. It's very peaceful. And then I woke up with a cramp in my neck. Right now, I'm just sitting back, taking in the environment, looking at the houses, farms, rows of hay, and little wooden shacks. Landscape is very flat. I don't see any hills. Maybe now I see a few little ones. Nothing in comparison to San Francisco, though. There aren't any street lights. I know it gets very dark here at night. I couldn't imagine living here. Just, what would you do? I guess maybe reflect on the things going on and the train going by, or working on a farm, or I don't even see people walking around. I just saw a car go by on the road that's parallel to this train. I don't know, I haven't seen any people. We've been riding for quite a while. I don't see any people just walking around outside, even outside their houses. It's almost as if this is some type of ghost town. But I know there are people there, because, you know, how did cars get there? Oh, I just saw a school bus. But it looks like nobody was on it. The sky is really blue. The clouds look thin. Like, it looks like it's only like 3 clouds in the sky. There are very few days I saw the sky look like this in New York City, where I'm from. The roads look very small. Now there's only a few trees. There are a lot of weeds though. The train horn keeps blaring. Piles of rocks and little bodies of water, and I don't know. Nothing about this is dense. I was upstairs speaking to one of the students, Heidi, and she was saying how it's so funny how in New York City it's like, I think she was talking about cities in general though, it's a lot of people living on top of a lot of people. It's very dense. And right now we have all this landscape and it's no people. It's kind of ironic, you know. This is one of the bigger states right now, Iowa. No people. Nobody wants to live out here, I guess. No real cities out here. At least none that we passed. Now we're passing houses and the houses are a little closer. Every couple of feet away. But they still look like 1-story houses. They don't look like, oh no, there's a couple of 2-story houses right there. Oh, right now we're passing a cemetery. It was very small. Probably only looked like 100 tombstones. And a couple of trailer homes. Hay and wood, piles of rocks, another road.